Is the man. So I'm streaming and I stumble across a video of Chris Broussard calling Kevin Durant's points empty calories. Look, let's see what he got to say.
Through your reaction.
Look, Kevin Durant is, we all know, all-time great, top 20-ish type player of all time, legend. But at this point, at soon to be 37 years old, don't be fooled by the numbers. He is not impacting games anywhere remotely like he used to. For Kevin Durant not to make the play-in with Devin Booker, and some of this is on Booker too, but smack dab in the middle of his prime, averaging 26 and 7. Bradley Beal plays 53 games, gives you 17 points a night. Decent role players. Tyus Jones was effective in Memphis. You know, Royce O'Neal has been effective in places.
Good God Almighty, man. In 2025, when are we going to learn it's not just a name value thing anymore? The NBA, it's not what it is anymore. You can't just say, oh, they have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Yeah, they were trash. And even Chris Broussard's point of KD not impacting the game, that is categorically incorrect and false, because I do remember there was a section of the season starting off for the Suns where they were like 13-1 with Kevin Durant. KD, I believe, goes down with the injury or something. And then they proceeded to lose like every game. As soon as KD went down, the Suns season was over. Just like that. 3-17 without KD this year. Thank you, Red Turtle. But he's not impactful? What? Sure, he's not prime Kevin Wayne anymore. He's not Golden State Kevin Wayne anymore. But to say he's not, bro, he's still a very impactful top 10 player. He's still top 10. You still can't name 10 players in the association better than Kevin Durant. Ain't no well. You can't. Halle better almost banned you.
It's like, obviously the roster construction is kind of bad, but still, you couldn't even get your team into the play-in. And then 2 years ago, they got swept unceremoniously by a young, immature Minnesota team. So the notion that Kevin Durant is what he was years.
That same Minnesota team went on, that same young, immature Minnesota team went on to beat the defending champs and the best player in the world. It's not a knock losing to that team. What is Chris yapping about right now? So now losing to Minnesota is a crime. Oh, brother.
Years ago and going to come in there and lead your team to a championship is just not the case. And so, he's still a great bucket, but the numbers are somewhat empty calories at this point.
But do you think they would be empty calories in a different situation?
He's not, if he's your number one guy,
but he's none of
then
these
no,
teams.
I think they're not going to be,
But so I don't
think
think any of these teams that are trying to trade for him want him to be the number one guy. Houston, it's weird.
Exactly. I was just going to say, if he comes to Houston and we don't have to give up the farm for him and we're a playoff team, he's definitely the number one, by the way. Is it going to be empty calories then because his environment is better and his team's better, or is more functional? He actually has an elite defense around him. He's no longer the best offensive and defensive player on his team, which he's been on in Phoenix, by the way, which is part of the problem. So again, it's not empty calories because the team is bad. What did Kevin Durant, let me look up Kevin Durant's numbers last year. Let's see. Bro, hold on. Empty calories, chat. The man averaged 26 and a half, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, basically a steal and a block on 53, 43, 84 splits in a 64 true shooting. This is far from empty calories. Empty calories is like what LaMelo's doing in Charlotte, just throwing the ball up there. Empty calories is what Tyrese Maxey has to do when Joel Embiid is out. He's just throwing the ball to the rim every other play. That's empty calories. Scoring this efficiently never will be empty calories. Sorry. This is still a good meal right here. This is still great. This is still a good, healthy, hearty meal. 26 and a half on 64 true shooting, great health value. You're getting plenty protein, getting your vegetables in. It comes with a gallon of water as well. You're getting your fruit. LaMelo over there in Charlotte doing the empty calories. All you getting over there is donuts, honey buns, and Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Those are empty calories. What KD's doing is not empty calories. Sorry. No, sir. No, sir.
Used to be a clear number one. So I'm just saying look, his main bread and butter is the mid-range. If your bread and butter is the mid-range in today's NBA, you can get buckets. Yeah. Period. You can get buckets. And so I'm not saying he's 37. He's not supposed to be a super duper star anymore. Okay? LeBron's an out.
What does that even mean? So is Shea empty? Shea's a mid-range player. He may be arguably the best player in the league. Jokic is in the mid-range. A lot of the best players in the league operate in the mid-range. That's part of what makes them some of the best players in the world. They're in between games.
Outlier. But he's still a very good player. He's still a legit star. In the right situation, I'd love to have him. I've been saying Minnesota. I'm just saying the Suns are going to be surprised because they're not going to get this huge haul because everybody's after Kevin Durant.
So that last part I agree with you on, and we might actually agree in spirit at least. I am going to put up his numbers as a Sun. Just
they're
to
the
remind
same as
people,
his numbers throughout his career.
And I agree. So his numbers as a Sun, the one that jumped out to me is like, man, 43% from three is pretty nuts. And
he probably
should take a few more. And I obviously he is not prime Kevin Durant. It's obvious to everyone. And by the way, he wasn't when Phoenix traded for him. Phoenix traded away a haul.
We thought he was, though. Everybody kind of thought he was.
I think at the time I was maybe a little more down on where KD was than the rest of the world. And right now I feel like I'm a little higher on where KD is because I do feel like there is a similar thing happening in the Kevin Durant discussion that I have seen happen to LeBron, which is we are measuring him against who he used to be. That's right. Rather than against the other players in the league right now.
Exactly. Measure him against his contemporaries and his associates during this time, not how good he used to be. And again, if you measure him against his contemporaries, he's still a top 10 player. For most people, at bare minimum, he's top 15. Bare minimum. There's no top 10 to 15 player in the world that's empty calories. That's not a thing. That's never been a thing. We just acknowledge that the situation around you may not be optimal. It may not be optimal. What about 23 Dame? Again, 23 Dame is too good of a player to say what he's doing is empty. Maybe his environment was bad. Maybe that team wasn't good. When you look at Russ in 17 or in 18, those aren't empty calorie stats. He was a top 10 player in the world. That's never empty calorie.
Now, and so you said he's top 20-ish all time. Agreed. He's also firmly in the top 20 right now. Like for the back end of it. Yes. But he is the point that
he's not on the back end of the top 20. What? The only players let me list the players I think are just definitively better than Kevin Durant right now. So what you got? Jokic, Giannis, Shea, Luka. That's the end of the list. That's definitively better. I'm sorry. That's the end of the list. If you want to throw in a healthy Embiid, sure. Healthy Embiid, sure. I just think that's fantasy land at this point. But sure, if you want to throw in healthy Embiid is a better player than KD today. Outside of that's the end of the definitively better than KD list. That's the end of it. Now, if you want to start saying people who are, maybe slightly better or have an argument of being better, now we get to the Ants, the Tatums, the ADs, the Bronze, and then that's kind of it. Oh, Curry, maybe throw Brunson's name in there, and that's it. That's it. D-Mitch, not better than Kevin Durant. No. Halliburton, damn shame better than Kevin Durant. No, sir. Oh, Wemby. I forgot Wemby. I did forget Wemby. Throw Wemby in there. But that's it. So what we name? How many players we name? We name what? Jokic, Giannis, Shea, Luka, Embiid, Ant, Wemby, AD, Curry, Tatum. That's 10 players. And I think he has an argument against like 3 or 4 of those players. Bron, I don't know if I said Brunson. So 12 in total. He has an argument against like 4 to 5, 4 to 6. So yeah, he's nowhere near the back end. They need to they need to list these players. Talking about he's on the back end of the top 20. You can't name 16 players better than KD right now. No.
That I'm making is Kevin Durant good enough to be the second best player on an awesome team? And my answer to that is yes. Was that the case in Phoenix? No. Was that a group failing from ownership, coaching, Durant, Booker, everything? Yes. But and so the teams that are talking about trading for him, Anthony Edwards supposed to be the best player on that team, right? We both think Miami doesn't make sense because he would be the best player there, and then where are you going? Houston's weird because he would be their go-to offensive player, but Şengün is supposed to be the hub of everything there.
Did this nigga did he just say Şengün? If I'm Ime, let me tell you something right now. I'm looking in the camera, Ime. If Kevin Durant steps foot in Houston and we're running offense through Alfred Şengün, fire him immediately. He needs to be fired. If Kevin Wayne is in the great city of Houston and we are running offense through Alfred Şengün, fire Ime Udoka expeditiously. There's no way. No. MJ, if he could have said Alfred is supposed to be maybe the future, sure. He said running everything through Alfred? If we have Kevin Wayne on the Rocket and we're running everything through Şengün, fire Ime Udoka.
Antonio, the idea is Wemby is going to continue on the trajectory. New York, it's Jaylen Brunson. And in all those spots, Kevin Durant, who while he would have been all NBA-ish had he been eligible this year. I don't know if you would have voted for him, but he certainly would have been in that contention for third team at least. That's a super valuable player.
Yeah.
And so that's the point.
But you also look at the age. You look at these young teams, Houston, San Antonio. I mean, their timeline's completely different.
Yes.
And I get it. Maybe you can get him now and win it quickly. But that's somewhat of a risk, especially when Giannis might be out there and available, and the injury history. One time in the last 5 years played 65 or more games. So I still, look, he's still a very good player and a star, legit star. We kind of debated a little bit on club superstar. I get it, he's a legend, so he can be in club superstar. I'm telling you, there's a lot of guys that can get buckets on losing teams. I'm just not enamored with.
Yeah, but not on 50, 40, 84 splits. No, there's not a lot of people doing that. It's a lie. What is he talking about? In fact, it's probably even harder to be that efficient on bad teams because the whole thing is to stop you. KD being able to be efficient with no point guard. Like, no, what is Chris talking about? A lot of guys getting buckets on bad teams. Yeah, not on 64 true shooting, Chris. No. I don't even know how long the list is of players this year that averaged 25 plus on 64 or more true shooting. It may just be him and Jokic, to be honest. And Shea, maybe? What was Shea? Shea was 63.7, so technically no. Jokic. 66. So yeah, he qualified. I'm trying to think of who else averaging 25 plus. Tyler Hero? Good Lord. Is Tyler Hero? Did he make this list? Nope. 23.9 on 60.5. Not even close. Who else? Hey, come on, bro. What are we talking about? No, stop, bro. That's it. Yeah, that's it. It's KD and Jokic. It's the only two people scoring that efficiently on that such volume in the entire league. I want to go ahead and just throw Shea in there. I mean, 63.7 is pretty much. But still, even if we add Shea, 3 players.
You got 26 on a team that was 10 games below 500.
But can I ask you a question? Because I agree, Devin Booker. Look at the Warriors pre-Jimmy. Booker's better than any of Steph's teammates. But I would argue the Warriors without Steph, again, pre-Jimmy, and the Suns without Durant, if you look at those rosters as a whole, I don't know that one is markedly better than the other. Like, the Warriors have the far better coach situation and kind of a more cohesive, put together with thought roster. The Suns have a superstar or, a star player in Booker and then a bunch of pieces. The Warriors were 24-25 before they traded for Jimmy. I don't think, and again, I think Steph's a greater all-time player than Durant and currently a better player than Durant. But nobody was like, man.
Good point, Nick. I don't even. Is Curry still better than KD right now? I don't know if that's definitive like that. I really don't. I don't know that. Was Curry better than KD this year? The Warriors were 7-5 without Curry. Phoenix fell off the face of the earth when KD didn't play. The Warriors weren't that good until Jimmy went over there.
Man, Steph Curry doesn't know how to contribute to winning it.
No, but we were saying he wasn't the same.
Right.
And again, that's one game below 500. Not 10 games below 500.
But the Suns, I think, at the 50-game mark were right around, I think, a similar spot. They seem to give up on the season. You know what I mean? The Suns, once Durant, they were thinking about trading him, and they didn't.
I'm surprised you're putting so much of it on Durant. It was a team without
some of
any
it's on
real...
Booker, too. I'm just saying, I am comparing him to Kevin Durant at his height, because the numbers look the same. I was saying similar things about LeBron a few years ago. Like, everybody was like, oh, his numbers are the same. But LeBron used to totally control the game and totally control impact winning. I control the tempo, pace, everything. And he couldn't do that in LA, and even though the numbers look the same. And so we have to look at that as well. And Kevin Durant at this point, he's going to score. That's it. He's not going to get you a bunch of rebounds for a guy that's essentially a 7-footer. 6 a game. Okay. Sure. He's not going to play make greatly. He's a decent defender at this point. I mean, that's the thing. All these.
I hate how he's devaluing Kevin Durant scoring. He's still one of the 5 best at that on the planet. It's not like some run of the mill. You know what I'm saying? He's still one of the ultimate buckets in the world. Because that scoring doesn't have the same impact. Then why were they 13-1 to start the season with KD and then 3-17 when he got hurt and couldn't play? That's not true. Y'all are looking at Phoenix's record and coming to that conclusion and not actually deep diving into the fact. Kevin Durant started this year in MVP conversations. Are we just forgetting that? Have we lost our mind? Do we have short-term memory loss? I'm sorry. Phoenix was rolling. KD was hooping. KD go down. They go to hell, but KD scoring ain't got no real, it don't impact the game. Why they shit without him? If it ain't got no impact, why they boo-boo cheese without him?
He's going to do, and that's important. So the second, third guy, whatever, get you some buckets. I need that. Okay.
I guess the point that I'm making is, and I think we might agree, we just did a whole deserved tribute to Jaylen Williams. Next year in the NBA, for next year and next year alone, I think Jaylen Williams and Kevin Durant are within 3 player rankings of each other.
No way. Jaylen Williams is better than Kevin Durant right now. Is the man retarded?
Oh my goodness! Bro, yeah, hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, man. Hey, bro. Yeah, I'm done. Hey, man. Kevin Durant, I will no longer be saying anything negative about you because clearly your PR is it's buried 6 feet deep. If we're at a point where we're saying Jaylen Williams, I love J-Dub. I think J-Dub's a phenomenal player. I really do. I gave him the Scotty comp and everything. Better than Kevin Wayne? Are you serious? If you put Kevin Durant on that OKC team, come on, gang. You swap J-Dub and put Kevin Durant. Bruh, come on, bro. What are we talking about? Oh my, even Nick Wright saying they're 3 players away. No, they are not. No, they are not. Kevin Durant is still a tier or 2 or maybe 3 better than J-Dub. This is
That's what I said. Within 3, like, I mean,
the defense isn't even comparable.
I agree with
But
that.
when you list out
but I'm
everybody,
saying, my point is, if you
where's
actually
Kevin
did
Durant
it pen to
fall?
paper,
I mean,
I think you would have Jaylen Williams at like 15 and Durant at like 19. Let me take him out.
Yeah.
we have to stop. We have to stop being so biased towards recency. Okay, this is crazy, man. The fact that we were hearing Halliburton top 7 talk, now J-Dub is top 15 and better than Kevin Durant. Are we serious right now? Are we serious? What are we doing? But then the other thing is these two, they wouldn't say this about LeBron. Ask these same two, is J-Dub better than LeBron by these same arguments that they're making right now? Because Chris Broussard brought up defense. J-Dub clears Bron defensively. But they wouldn't dare say J-Dub is better than LeBron James. It's not even definitive that LeBron is better than Kevin Durant right now. That's not definitive. You can maybe think LeBron is better, or you could argue it, but that's close. That's Bron ain't running away with that. And Kevin Durant still has some legitimate argument. More efficient scorer, better defender. Bron is still the better offensive and defensive player. Smoke, you got to get off that smoke. That's what you need to do. You need to get off that.
Yeah, but there can be gaps bigger gaps between
do you think
12
he's
and
better?
13.
Agreed.
Than
But do you
7
think
and
he's
8 or
better than
whatever.
Pascal Siakam right now for next year? I do.
Yes.
I think obviously.
Yeah.
And we're all talking, and we're like, man,
What took Chris so long to answer the question? What are we doing? Look, bro. Oh, brother. What?
Pascal Siakam, pretty
Hall of
good
Fame.
second option.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm saying I just think I think
Siakam
sometimes
scores in different ways.
I would trade
Durant's gonna
Siakam right now.
Durant's going to hit mid-range jumpers and threes.
Siakam for Durant right now.
for the
I'd be like,
Pacers.
oh my, Pacers got a chance.
I would
they
feel
can
like
get
if
a
they
bucket.
did it.
What is Chris talking about? Bro, Chris, please, we got to make sure Chris sees this video, chat. We need to blow this with a Chris. You are so flagrantly wrong with this take. This is one of your worst takes I've ever heard during your career. This is bad. This is terrible. So Siakam scores in more ways than Kevin Durant? Is that dead what he's like insinuating right now? Mr. Beyblade himself, Mr. Low-key, Siakam really just in the mid-post nowadays, hitting turnaround fades. It's going in transition, exactly. And he hits catch and shoot threes. It's not even like, it's the same thing, man. What are we talking about? Gee, I knew KD's PR was low. I didn't know it was in hell. Bro, we're having people saying J-Dub is better than Kevin Durant, bro. Pascal Siakam scores in more ways than Kevin Durant. Oh my goodness.
During the series, they might.
But we also got to take into consideration the age.
Right.
And the
I
injuries.
agree with all that.
That's the thing.
I agree
It's not in
with
the
all
back.
that.
2 years.
I'm talking about for next season.
KD fans, y'all need to do better. I don't know what y'all got going on, but to let your man's PR get dragged into the mud like this, y'all got to do better. No layers. I'm talking to you. Who else? KDFC, shame on you. KDFC, shame on you for letting this happen. Pascal Siakam is scoring in more ways than Kevin Durant. Let Chris Broussard tell it. This was a fun one. Chris Broussard, you're wrong. Horrible take. Again, one of the worst in your entire career. But until next time, it's been real.